as Americans, and especially radio talk show hosts and listeners, if we let Great Britain, the United Kingdom or England or whatever they call themselves, get away with banning, with blacklisting Michael Savage, if we let them get away with that, then they're coming for you next.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know Pastor Manning, but I would like to know him. In fact, if you're listening to the show with Pastor Manning, you're invited to San Francisco to dinner with me. That's all I can tell you. It's the most I can offer you as my company. I can't offer you anything more. I'll even pay for the dinner. 1-800-449-8255. Yes, Jackie, let's keep out those dangerous homeopaths from Catherine Bennett of the London Guardian and Peter Chalka, Bill Moyers. He connects Bill Moyers. This is interesting. There's an article from the American Thinker, Michael Savage banned in the UK, okay? And he goes into a long story about the least wanted list of foreign undesirables. And there's a list of 16 people, and I'm the 16th, Michael Savage. And I'm controversial. Others excluded for fostering extremism include murderers, those in prison right now, leaders of gangs that beat immigrants and posted their films of attacks on the Internet. Next is Samir al-Kuntar, a Lebanese man who spent 3 decades in prison for killing 4 Israeli soldiers and a 4-year-old girl by smashing her head in with a rifle butt. They put me in the same list as that. And then they go on, and he goes back to my career beginning in talk radio. My PhD in nutrition and herbal medicine at University of California at Berkeley. And he said his take no prisoner style earned him rating success locally, ironically in liberal San Francisco. And later on around the U.S. when his daily talk show, The Savage Nation, went into national syndication in 99-2000. Early on, Savage targeted borders, language, and culture as core issues and was a harbinger of the emerging problem of illegal immigration. So far, no problem, right? While Savage, as he himself has noted, is generally considered persona non grata and is typically ignored by the midstream media, there is also little love lost between Savage and many notable conservatives. And he mentions a jerk who used to work for CBS News, who's a turncoat named Bernie Goldberg. I don't know who he is, but the fact of the matter is this jerk Goldberg should be running a Furrier store in Brooklyn, if there are any left. Bernie Goldberg is a faker who really should never have left the Furrier trade that his ancestors probably begged him to. Jerk Bernie Goldberg put Savage at number 61 on his list of 100 people who are screwing up America. And then he goes on, and he talks about the George Soros-funded group Media Matters, who attacks me relentlessly. And then he talks about my reliable defenders, including WorldNet Daily and Free Republic. Now he gets down to where this came from. I'm going to read you now, in case you wanted to know how the Brits got my name and why they lumped me in with murderers. On September 12, 2008, Bill Moyers' weekly PBS program, Bill Moyers Journal, helped to set the stage for the latest UK-based demonization of Savage by implying in an inaccurate and one-sided report, Rage on the Radio, that the work of conservative American talk shows, Savage in particular, may have inspired the fatal shooting last year of 2 people at the Tennessee Valley Unitarian Universalist Church in Knoxville. Why? Because books by Savage and other conservative writers were found in the shooter's apartment, according to Bill Moyers. But here's what your newspaper, why they're going out of business, here's what the vermin in the media left out of that story. Interestingly, he writes, when the shooter, Jim David Atkinson, pled guilty to the crime in 2009, he said that he wanted to kill all 100 people on Bernard Goldberg's list. A list that, as noted above, includes Michael Savage. And yet that did not stop that despicable, fraudulent corned beef eater, O'Reilly, from having Goldberg on as though Goldberg speaks the truth to my reality. Shame on you. Shame on you, O'Reilly. If you had any guts, you'd have me on. But you have no shame, do you? And you have no pride and you have no guts, O'Reilly. I'm challenging you to have Michael Savage on the show. How dare you think you could get away with having that Furrier on your show speaking for you? You didn't know that he put my name on a list of 100 people that he wanted to kill because he got it from your good friend Bernie Goldberg. Okay? On September 15, 2008, I reported on Moyers' PBS hit piece on Savage in an article in American Thinker. 8 months later, the British government seemed to be basing its decision to ban Savage on a similar and similarly undocumented and flawed theory as it describes Savage as, and they blah, blah, blah. But Savage said, I've never advocated violence. I've been in the air for 15 years, 3 hours a day, 5 days a week for 15 years. I'll continue when I come back. I like corned beef, by the way.
Savage.